In Durham, ACC Network. Let's not mess around. You know how excited I get when we start talking about Friday duels in the ACC. Pitt and red-hot Virginia Tech. And making his debut on the show, Nino Bonaccorsi joins us. Let's get Nino on the program here. See what's going on with Nino this morning. See what's happening. There he is. Nino, good morning. What's happening, dude? You doing all right?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. All right, I want to get right into this. Your brother, Nick, was a wrestler at Pitt. I want to know what kind of problems you two caused growing up. Your mom and dad might have had enough
what the
of
house
you.
looked like.
Right? I got a feeling you guys are causing all kinds of issues.
They definitely have some gray hairs from us for sure. We every day we'd be wrestling / fighting in the living room and knocking over couches and stuff. So it was definitely pretty hectic growing up. For sure.
I got to figure you got two wrestlers in the house. You got two brothers, ultra competitive. Mom and dad are like, ay, Nick and Nino driving me crazy, right? Driving me crazy.
Yeah, right.
Well, I know this much. You know what's up tomorrow night. The Hokies are red hot coming off the big win against NC State. But you know what? Your team's pretty good too. We got all these good teams ranked in the top 20 in the ACC.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun duel. It's like you said, the ACC's hot right now, and it's kind of cool to see how elite like the teams are now. Like there's only 6 teams in the conference, but they're all really good, and they make for some really good duels. So we're excited to go there tomorrow and show up and hopefully come away with a win.
Nino, what makes this different? I mean, obviously the championship's off, and everybody understands that comes up later this month. But these duels that everybody's been captivated by, really in the last couple of years on ACC Network, with a chance to see wrestling on television, collegiate wrestling on television. For you guys that are participating in this, do you feel kind of the extra adrenaline pumping when you know it's going to be televised? I'm just curious how the wrestlers themselves view this.
Yeah, I think there's definitely that aspect to it. I think certainly now that, just the hype that these ACC matches are bringing, I think it's, everyone goes out kind of with that mindset that, we're the better team. And I think just every team's trying to prove to each other that, who's going to stand out and be number one. So I definitely think there's that aspect to it. But yeah, the adrenaline's definitely pumping when 2 ACC teams are wrestling. For sure.
Nino, this season you go from a $184 to the 197 class. I mean, how much fun is that knowing, hey, I get to put 13 pounds? Because I think of that, I'm thinking, all right, a couple more extra barbecue sandwiches, some steaks, some pasta. But, I know you guys go 184 to 197. It's all muscle. But how much fun is that knowing, all right, I have to be so disciplined all the time when it comes to weight classes in wrestling. But now I'm going up 13 pounds. Talk about the process.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt. I don't have to push away a meal too fast anymore. But it was interesting. During the quarantine, when we were all sitting at home, I always felt like I had the frame to kind of be at a bigger weight class, and being at home, I kind of got to implement some almost like some Rocky training style type setup. And I'm an Italian guy, so my mom's always cooking me food, so it was nice to just work out and eat whatever I can. So, but yeah, the weight came on pretty good, and I'm feeling good. So, yeah, it's nice.
So, what did it mean when you got back on the mat, though? When you come off the quarantine, and now all of a sudden, you're going to wrestle at this heavier weight. So, what's the season been like to play up, if you will?
Yeah, so it was definitely an adjustment for sure. I had an opportunity to wrestle in some summer tournaments before the season even started at a bigger weight class. So it was kind of my test to see, if I could wrestle with these bigger guys. Obviously, it's a big jump. So I felt good at those tournaments, and obviously going back to our first collegiate match and everything, it's I've been feeling good, and it's it's been a pretty good season so far. So I feel like I'm feeling comfortable with the weight, and I'm excited for postseason soon.
I want to go back to the answer you just gave us. You said we had a Rocky style setup. I'm going to get back to that. But I'm also going to get back to your mom's cooking, because anybody with the name Bonaccorsi who says, hey, mom's cooking, I know that is spectacular. We'll get to that in a second. But what was the Rocky setup? Walk us through what that looked like during COVID, where you had to create a way to stay in shape.
Yeah. So it was definitely interesting. I have like a nice like gym setup. Like I have weights and everything like that, like kind of like traditional stuff like that. But where I live at, I got like a decent like piece of land, and like my dad's a landscaper, so he has some like kind of funky stuff like laying around. So I pulled some sleds, I lifted some logs and stuff, some chains, like anything really I could grab that wasn't really made for lifting. I would kind of incorporate it into my workouts and stuff. So it was it actually I really enjoyed it. It was nice to kind of get away from that like usual dumbbell bar setup. So I still did that stuff too, but yeah, it was interesting.
Now, how did your dad like knowing that the tractor was missing? I mean, because I know you were probably out there looking for anything that can move, right? He's going, I could have sworn I had all this equipment hanging around. Nino, somebody get Nino out of the house, right? I know you were disruptive. No, you were.
Yeah, he would come home. He'd be like, "What the heck?" Because I would just leave kind of stuff like laying around all over the place. He's like, "Really, man?" So I'm like, "Sorry, Dad." So I'd have to work out, then come back out and put it all away. So yeah.
And as far as your mom's cooking, all right. And again, I'm already hungry at 7:39 this morning. I know she's got to be good, right? Bonaccorsi. We got Italian food. Mom's cooking. Son needs to put on 15 pounds. So what's mom making in the kitchen? What's the go-to?
Well, no surprise, spaghetti or anything Italian. She makes me this good like spaghetti with steak or like chicken parm. Yeah, anything with like red sauce or like anything Italian really. It's unbelievable. I like it.
Yeah, man, it sounds awesome. Sounds so good.
Nino, you come to wrestling, everybody gets there in a variety of ways. We talked about your older brother who obviously wrestled at Pitt too. What other sports, though, led you guys to wrestling? I mean, what was it about wrestling that it turned the light on, if you will? Because, I've heard of football guys, obviously. I mean, I've even run into a couple of basketball players, even some, guys that run track that wrestle at a lighter weight type deal. I mean, what is it that flipped the switch to wrestling for you?
Yeah, I think the funny thing is about wrestlers is like we're pretty versatile. Like I feel like most of the wrestlers I talked to have played sports growing up. So we've always wrestled. Like it was never like we did a sport then got into wrestling. So we always wrestled, but like we played football. I played soccer and baseball a little bit, and I kind of played. I was playing wrestling and playing football up until middle school. Then I kind of decided I was just going to focus on wrestling. So I played a lot of sports. I also did like a lot of those like mini triathlon things that they did when they were little. Some local parks and stuff had those set up. So I would go there and like swim and bike and run and stuff. So it was kind of like anything to like get me out of the house. I had so much energy. So wrestling wasn't enough at the time. So I'd kind of try to incorporate anything I could, to get that energy off.
Of course, your mom loved that because, you and Nick were sitting there destroying all the furniture. Like I said, I knew you guys were disruptive there at the house. By the way, from a stylish standpoint, what about those new singlets you guys unveiled, right? Steel City? Those are nice, right?
Those are awesome. Yeah, I love the new colors we have, and I love all our gear we have. I mean, it's really nice, but it was cool to rock those new Steel City singlets we had last week. So hopefully we can keep wearing them and everything. And yeah, we have some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, Pitt, man, I tell you what, Pitt wrestling. All right, final question for me though. So far, what has been the hardest class you've had at Pitt?
Oh, that's a good one. Probably, I'd say I took a computer programming class in college. I'm not even a computer science major. I just thought maybe that would be a cool class to take. So I took that, and I thought I was good with technology heading into it. And then halfway through, I'm like, I don't think this is for me. So I was struggling there for a while. It's probably like that computer programming class, I'd say.
I got it. Well, listen, man, stay healthy and keep on rocking. You guys entertain America on Friday nights on ACC Network. And, man, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.